Welcome, my friends, to another episode of The Woggers Way. I'm Uncle Brian with Woggers General Services in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, does water pour out of the air gap on top of your kitchen sink kind of like this? Well, today I'm going to show you a fast and simple way to fix this, plus how to do it without any special tools. Now, over a year ago, I posted this video on the same issue. But that one, well, it's a bit more involved and requires removing some hoses and all kinds of other plumbing things that most people don't want to get into, especially if you need it fixed right now. So today, I'm going to give you a fast 2-minute fix with a couple basic tools. But I'm also going to show you how to do it even if you don't have those tools. It's a great step-by-step DIY method coming up now. Okay, before I get into how to clean out the discharge hose from your air gap, I'm going to give you one other scenario which may be your issue. If you've had a garbage disposal recently installed, or you installed one recently, and the water coming out of your air gap started right after that, this may be your issue. So this is your garbage disposal. This is the air gap. So the way the air gap works is your drain line from your dishwasher comes up and connects to the small nipple here on the air gap. The drain water comes up here, and then it goes out and flows out the larger nipple here, which is connected to what's called the discharge hose, which goes up to your garbage disposal. Now, for those of you that don't have a garbage disposal, you'll just have a nipple on the drain pipe underneath your sink. But for the purposes of this video, I'm always going to say garbage disposal. For those of you who don't have one, just know I'm also referring to the nipple on your sink. That way I don't have to do the disclaimer every time. So, water comes out here, goes into the nipple on your garbage disposal, and then it comes out your drain pipes. Well, in this nipple, there's a plug in there. The reason there's a plug in there is because not everybody has a dishwasher. And if you don't have a dishwasher, you don't connect anything up in there. If there's not a plug, every time you turn on your garbage disposal, it's just going to spew stuff out that nipple underneath your sink. So there's a plug in there to prevent that from happening. So when you install this and you have a dishwasher, so your drain line comes in here, you have to knock this plug out. So in there, there's a little plug right in there. And all you can do is just take your screwdriver, put it in there, just smack it like with a hammer. It'll knock that plug inside the garbage disposal, then just take it out. Don't leave it in there. It's going to screw up your garbage disposal, okay? So garbage disposal, plug, remove, air gap. All right. So that is the primary way the air gap works. Okay? So now you know how it works. Dishwater comes up here, goes out here into your garbage disposal, and then it goes out. Now, if that's not your issue, so in other words, that plug is not in there. You haven't had your garbage disposal replaced recently, it's always been working fine, and all of a sudden it just started spewing out of here, then you got a clog. Now, 99.99999% of the time, the clog is going to be from your air gap to your garbage disposal. It's going to be in that discharge line. So now in this video up here last year, I showed you how to take this all apart, take the discharge hose off, replace your air gap, clean everything out, put it all back together. But maybe you don't want to go through all that. Well, there is a way that you can clean that out without taking everything apart. Now, I do recommend taking it all apart because then you're going to get everything out of there. Because if you leave stuff in there, it's just going to clog up faster. So, but this will work. So what you're going to do, pop off the cap to your air gap. Now in your air gap, there are no moving parts. All it is I'll do a close-up shot here so you can see. But first of all, there's a cap on here. So this cap you need to remove. Now there's two little tabs here on the side. You're going to depress those tabs, and then you can grab this and just pull it out. Now there may be a bunch of gunk in there like you see here. Because, well, it's dirty water that's coming up there. So you can clean that out first. Whew. All right. I guess we don't want to throw it down there and cause more of a problem. So now if you look down in here, this small pipe here, that's where the water from your dishwasher is coming up. And then it hits this cap, and then it just flows down the side here, which comes out the larger port on the air gap through the discharge tube. So now what you can do, I'm going to show you this. You can use this. This is called the skinny snake. This is by Cobra Tools. I like this one because it's only a 1/8 inch. It's very small. It can get down in there. Some of the 1/4 inch ones kind of have a big head on them here and it doesn't get in there or it binds. That's why I like this. So I'll put a link to this down below, and I'm going to show you how to use this on this right now, but you don't need this. And I'm going to show you 2 alternative methods other than this. So if you don't have this and you don't want to wait to order one and get it in before you clear out that, I'm going to show you a couple of alternate ways to do that with things you probably have around your house. But right now, I'm going to show you with this. So all we do is just loosen up the thumb screw here, and then you can start pulling out the snake. Now we'll go back in here. So you're going to run the snake not down the small tube here, but you're going to run it down the large size here. So all you're going to do is you can put that in there, and you're just going to feed this out. And that's going to go down and out your discharge hose. Now you may get a little bit of resistance in there because that hose is probably going to come around. But I think actually I'm all the way in there. So if you look down in here, I'll get a close-up shot. You can probably see. Here, grab it here. There's the end of it. So it came out. So all you want to do is get it in there. It's going to push all that crud out, or at least a large portion of it. Just move it back and forth a lot, and then just. Now, if there's a lot of stuff in there, then what you can do is feed this back in there so you're kind of close up to the drain. Tighten your screw here, and then you can turn this around. And what that'll do is that end will kind of like flop around inside the tube and hopefully catch on as much stuff as possible, and just kind of up and down, back and forth, and then you want to take it out. Now this one's not clogged up, so I don't think I'm going to pull anything out, which I didn't. But this one's not clogged up. I'm just using it for demonstration purposes. Now you just knocked everything down into your garbage disposal, or it's caught up on your snake up here. Now you want to take your cap here and put it back in. Just make sure you depress the little tabs on there when you put it in, or you're going to break them off trying to get it in there. And snap it in, and then you're all set to go. Now all you need to do is just run your dishwasher through a drain cycle to find out if you've got everything cleared out. Chances are, make sure you put this cover back on before you do that, otherwise you're going to spew water possibly all over the place if there's still a clog in there. So always put your cap back on. The opening should be facing towards your sink. Run your dishwasher through a drain cycle, and hopefully you're all good to go. Now, as promised, I'm going to show you a couple alternative ways to clean this out if you don't have a skinny snake. Water's pouring out of there. You don't want to wait a few days to get one of these because you ordered it. So what are you going to do? Well, a couple things you probably have around your house that you can use to clear this out. All right, well, I'm out there grabbing those alternate methods. I just want to say that if you like the content I'm putting out there, I'd appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up like button down below and subscribe to my channel. Now, I've only started this channel 1.5 years ago, and 6,000 of you have already subscribed, and I truly, truly do appreciate that. And now is my shameless plug. By the end of next year, I want to reach 15,000 subscribers. I know it took me 1.5 years just to get to 6. So throwing another 9,000 in a year might be a tall order, but I got confidence in y'all, and I'm going to keep putting out more content to help in that endeavor. But I appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed to go ahead and tap on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. It really goes a long way in helping me create more videos to help you. It doesn't cost you anything, just a tap of your finger. So I appreciate it if you can do that. All right, let's jump back into it. Okay, a couple alternate methods I have is if you don't have a skinny snake, you can use one of these. You might have one of these laying around the house. This is a coax cable. This is the cable that hooks up on the back of your TV. You probably got some old ones laying around. Just snip off the connector off of one end. And the nice thing about this is it's small enough to fit down there, but it's firm enough that it's not going to fold over on itself while you're trying to push it through the discharge hose. So once again, take your cap off. We already got the little cap from the inside out. Now I'll show you how this works. Get up in here. So just take your coax and you're going to push it down there. And it's flexible enough to get around the bends in your discharge tube. There we go. And just work it back up and down. All you're trying to do is you're trying to punch a hole through all that gunk in there, and then you're going to push it out into the garbage disposal. And there it is. That's all you need to do. Then you can put your cap back on, put this back on, and drain your dishwasher. Now the other alternate method I have is this. And now of course it looks like the coax, but this is just Romex wire. This is wiring in your house. You might have some Romex laying around from a project you did. I usually just cut the end at a little bit of an angle, and it works the same way. Let's get up in here. Just put it right on down in there. It's firm enough that it's going to keep its shape, but it's flexible enough it's going to get around all those bends. And all you're going to do is push that down, work it back and forth. You just want to pop a hole in that clog, and then just pull it on out. That's all there is to it. Make sure you put your cap back on, squeeze those little locking tabs, or you could break them off. Oops. Hello. Pop my air gap all the way through. All right. All right, now I got it back up there. When you put your little cap back on, there is a notch on one side. See that? Get up here a little closer. So this, see, it's notched on one side compared to the other side. That notch side goes towards the small tube that's inside, so I can clear it. Snap that back on. Put your cap back on. Run your dishwasher, clean your dishes. That's all there is to it. All right, that's a quick and dirty way to do it. Now, I do recommend to take it all apart like I show you in this video over here and do it the proper way, and I'll put a link to that video down below. The only reason I say this is because this way I showed you today is just a temporary fix. All you're doing is probably punching a hole through all that gunk in there, but you probably still got some stuff in the line, which means it's just going to clog up a lot faster sooner. So go ahead and clean it all out properly, and then you have a little bit more peace of mind. Other than that, if you want to get some Woggers Way merchandise, I'll put a link below to my merchandise store. And if you want to win some free merchandise, I'll also put a link to my website page which tells you how to do that. Now, there is another way to win free merchandise. All next year, 2025, which could be this year or 5 years ago, depending on when you're watching this, but every month in 2025, I'm going to be conducting drawings to my subscribers and sending out some free merchandise. So go ahead and subscribe and get in on the drawings. And also, if I reach my 15,000 goal by the end of next year, I'll also do an extra 10 people at the end of the year to send some free merchandise too. So subscribe, get in on the drawings, plus it helps you find my videos a little faster and easier next time. Other than that, I'll throw a video up here for you to watch after this one's over with. And then besides that, I'm also, oh look, there it is. There's a link to how to subscribe to my channel, just in case you haven't already done so. So go ahead, thumbs up, subscribe, get some merch. And this is your Uncle Brian saying I'll see you in the next video. Like that one right over there. Bye now.